I think people in the past, in my young days, were more resilient. They would start a job and it might be difficult, but they would keep going and keep going. But nowadays, young people seem to be discouraged more easily. They're not so good at sticking with a task. And I think that's an important lesson for life is things become difficult. Don't give up, but keep going.
What is your advice for the people who living online, like digital life?
Stop. Or take some time when you don't play on your phone, you're not on your phone. Very often you see young people sitting together, and they'll sit side by side like you and me, and I'm on my phone and you're on your phone, and they could be talking to one another. My name is Robert, and I live in the northwest of England near Liverpool.
And how old are you?
69 years old. But in my head, 21.
What does it feel like to be 69?
Well, it's okay. I'd like to be younger because I'm slowing down now, but it's okay.
What is gonna change it as you're getting older? When you compare 20 to like younger self.
Health. Yes, I keep. Things keep going wrong. I think as you get older, you realise that sometimes. Things that were important when you were young are less important when you're old, and I don't know. Your priorities change, I think. Yeah, my mother, who has just died, aged 98, until recently, still thought of herself as somebody in her 40s. You always, as an older person, you always think of yourself.
Exactly.
Your mental picture is of a young person. You look in the mirror and you see this old person, and you think. But that's not me. I'm a young person inside. Yeah.
But skin's a little slightly changed.
That's true. Yes, and the hair.
Health. Yeah. And 69 is a long journey of your life. Is there anything you wish that you have done differently?
Oh, that's a really not really no, because I did a job. I do a job which I really enjoy. I'm an archaeologist, so I study ancient things in England, ancient people and ancient places. So coming somewhere like this is just fantastic. It's really, really interesting.
So what is a misconception about your job that other people could not understand?
Dinosaurs. Everybody thinks it's dinosaurs, but it's about people in the past. Yeah, we deal with the time long after the dinosaurs. So we're dealing with people in the past. Which is really interesting, because we're interesting.
And what is the truth about life you wish more young people understood?
Oh, that's really difficult. I think it's to be true to yourself, to respect other people, to be open-minded, to have an open mind so that you listen to other people and learn from them. I think people in the past, in my young days, were more resilient. They would start a job and it might be difficult, but they would keep going and keep going. But nowadays young people seem to be discouraged more easily. They're not so good at sticking with a task. And I think that's an important lesson for life is things become difficult, don't give up, but keep going. That would be my advice.
If you could go back in time to have a conversation with your younger self, what advice would you give to him, like to become better?
I would say take every opportunity, talk to people, because I think one of the ways in which I have advanced in my career is always by talking to somebody and getting to know people, and then they've created opportunities for me. So, be open to other people, I think is most important.
What is a big mistake that you made or big regret that you have and you learned valuable lesson from?
I would say not learning Turkish properly.
Turkish?
I worked in Turkey for a while, and so my big mistake was not continuing to learn Turkish, because I worked in Turkey for 9 months. And began to learn and then hit a plateau. And I just wish I'd continued, because that would have opened doors, I think, opened opportunities for career in archaeology in Turkey.
Can you give one piece of advice to anybody who is younger than your age?
Okay, I would say the best piece of advice would be always to see every new person as an opportunity to learn something. If you have an open mind and learn from people, then I think you will enrich your own life.
What is your advice for the people who living online, like digital life?
Stop. Or take some time when you don't play on your phone, you're not on your phone. Very often you see people young people sitting together, and they'll sit side by side like you and me, and I'm on my phone and you're on your phone, and they could be talking to one another. But their lives are very different nowadays. But I think talking to one another, learning to have a conversation like we are, would be very valuable advice for young people.
And as well, nowadays the people dating online.
Yeah, that's right. I
relationship.
know, that's bizarre. Yeah, bizarre. Very strange. Meeting real people is important.
Real people,
yes, I think that's crucial, isn't it? I think in the past we had an analog life, so now we have a digital life, and I think to lose the analog life, the real reality is, it's very unfortunate if we don't recognise that, that life has hard edges. Yeah.
And what do you think that people using the technology life as a right way or getting wrong?
Well, I think it's controlling the technology so that we don't spend too long doing it, that we don't spend all our lives online, and that we keep the technology in a box. For this amount of time I'll play with my phone, but then I'll talk to people, I'll go and look at things and look at beautiful buildings like this. This is reality for me. And to see these digitally, I take digital photographs, which I look at when I get home. But it's not the same as being here and smelling feeling the warm air and the dust and seeing the colours, and it's beautiful. So an analog life is very important. It's a dangerous technology because it takes away the effort, it takes away the work. I did a PhD and I spent 10 years working on it, and I've just finished a book which took me 30 years to write. And
you published the book?
Yeah.
What does it call it?
It's cool. Well, it's about a place in the Falkland Islands.
Wow.
So it's one of the sites I've been looking at. But there's a huge amount of effort, a lot of reading and learning and researching that goes into that. And ChatGPT is just cheating. I think I work in the university in Liverpool, and it's very important there that people don't use these AI to do their work for them. They have to study, they have to read the books, they have to listen to the arguments. That's all vital, otherwise they're not educating themselves.
Thanks a lot. I really appreciate it.
That's a great pleasure. It's very nice to meet you, and thank you very much.